Hi everyone, thanks for joining me today. Let's take a relaxing drive through Vietnam and experience its streets, traffic, and everyday life together. When you hear the word Vietnam, what is the first image that comes to your mind? For many people, it is a timeless picture. They imagine emerald green rice terraces, ancient temples shrouded in mist, or perhaps narrow, chaotic alleys filled with the irresistible scent of street food. These beautiful images are certainly real, but they only tell half the story. Right now, beneath the surface of this rich history, a massive, quiet revolution is taking place. Vietnam is experiencing one of the fastest economic transformations in human history. Over the last 2 decades, millions of people have entered the middle class. And with this newfound prosperity, the very definition of the Vietnamese dream is shifting. To truly understand a country, you have to look at how its people choose to live. When they finally have the resources to build their ideal life. The journey from the crowded, historic centers to the sprawling, hyper-modern edges of the city tells a fascinating story about where Vietnam has been. And more importantly, exactly where it is heading. This is a story about ambition, family, and a society that is living into centuries at the exact same time. For generations, the concept of home in Vietnam was defined by something called a tube house. If you have ever looked at pictures of traditional Vietnamese neighborhoods, you might have noticed that the buildings are incredibly narrow, but stretch very far back, sometimes rising 4 or 5 stories high. Have you ever wondered why they were built this way? Historically, property taxes in many areas were calculated based on the width of your street frontage. To save money, families built their homes as narrow as possible. These tube houses were designed for multi-generational living. It was entirely normal and expected for grandparents, parents, and children to all share one roof. The ground floor was often a shop or a place to park motorcycles, while the upper floors were divided into tiny bedrooms. In these older neighborhoods, life happens on the street. The sidewalk is essentially a shared living room. Neighbors know everything about each other. You buy your vegetables from the woman walking past your front door. And you drink iced tea with the shop owner next door. It is a highly communal, deeply connected way of life. But today, young professionals are looking for something completely different. As the younger generation travels more, uses the internet, and builds careers in tech and international business, their priorities are changing. They still deeply respect their elders, a concept known as filial piety, which is the cornerstone of Vietnamese culture. But they no longer want to live in the same cramped quarters. They want privacy, they want green spaces, and they want a completely different environment to raise their children. This desire for a new lifestyle is completely reshaping the geography of Vietnamese cities. Because the historic centers are fully built up and deeply congested, there is simply no room left to build wide, spacious homes or large public parks. The infrastructure in the old districts was built for bicycles and pedestrians, not for the millions of motorcycles and the rapidly growing number of cars on the roads today. In fact, car ownership in Vietnam is surging, while the motorcycle is still the undisputed king of transportation. More and more families view owning a car as the ultimate symbol of success. But owning a car in a traditional neighborhood is a nightmare. There is nowhere to park, and the alleys are often too narrow for a vehicle to even enter. Because of this, urban planners and private developers have started looking outward. They have taken empty plots of land, former agricultural fields, and quiet outskirts, and transformed them into entirely new urban zones. This is not just simple suburban sprawl like you might see in North America, where rows of houses sit miles away from any shops. The Vietnamese approach to urban expansion is much more ambitious. Developers here are not just building houses. They are building entire ecosystems from scratch.
Paradise is wherever we make it. Paradise is wherever we make it.
This brings us to a fascinating modern phenomenon, perfectly illustrated by places like Vinh Homem Thang Long. When you enter these newly developed, master-planned communities, you might feel like you have suddenly been transported to a completely different country. The chaotic, buzzing energy of the traditional streets is replaced by wide, meticulously paved boulevards. The tangled webs of black power lines that famously decorate old neighborhoods are entirely gone, buried safely underground. Developments like Vinh Homem Thang Long represent the pinnacle of modern Vietnamese aspiration. They are designed as cities within cities. The philosophy is that a resident should never actually need to leave the gates. Inside these massive compounds, developers build international standard hospitals, high-tech schools, sprawling shopping malls, and private security forces. For a foreign visitor, the contrast is staggering. Just a few miles away, people are still buying live fish and fresh from open-air wet markets, haggling over prices in the morning sun. But here, inside these modern enclaves, families are pushing shopping carts through air-conditioned mega supermarkets, scanning QR codes to pay for imported goods. It is a profound shift in the daily rhythm of life. In the past, security meant having neighbors who kept an eye on your house. Today, for the emerging upper middle class, security means living in a gated community with camera surveillance and guards. Yet, even in these ultra-modern spaces, deep cultural traditions remain untouched. If you look inside one of these luxurious, Western-style villas, you will still find a carefully maintained ancestral altar in the most important room of the house. No matter how modern the architecture gets, the spiritual connection to ancestors remains a central pillar of daily life. The traditional incense still burns, only now it floats through centralized air conditioning. Riding through the changing landscapes of Vietnam is like watching a time-lapse video of human progress. You can literally see the layers of history peeling back, revealing a country that is racing into the future with incredible optimism. Many people worrying that as developing nations modernize, they lose their soul. They worrying that shiny new buildings will erase the charm of the past. But Vietnam has a unique way of absorbing the new without erasing the old. The traditional tube houses and the frantic, wonderful energy of the old markets are not disappearing anytime soon. They will continue to thrive, serving as the cultural heartbeat of the nation. But alongside them, a new reality has taken root. Master-planned communities, wide suburban avenues, and quiet, manicured parks are now just as authentically Vietnamese as a bowl of pho on a busy sidewalk. They represent the hard work of a generation that has pulled itself upward, transforming a war-torn history into a bright, secure future for their children. So the next time you think of Vietnam, remember that it is not just a land of ancient traditions. It is a place of incredible innovation, a society constantly reinventing itself, and a country where the future is being built right before our eyes, one road and one neighborhood at a time.
Till the sun's up Monday, We'll tell our phones, do not disturb. I got my straw hat, babe. And you can finally pull the tags on your Tommy Bahama shirt. Blue crush up on the 80